Dear students, sixth class, how are you doing? I wish you're doing great these days. Actually, I have decided to talk today about one of the most important passage in the book, which is the first passage in Unit 2, Police Officers' Duties. In this passage, actually, we're going to learn how to talk about police duties, and we're going to learn many vocabulary and many, we can say, very essential and important words. But before we're going to start, I would like to ask you to bring a book with you because we need to read each passage separately. Then we're going to do all the questions on the board. So let's dive in. Okay, I'm going to read the first passage. People have to follow the law so that we can all live together safely. Law is rules that are the rules that everyone in the country must obey. I mean, must follow. Safely meaning peacefully. Okay, there are lots of different laws, so police officers have a lot of different duties. You know, the word duties actually, it means that moral or legal obligation or responsibility. Okay. Then some officers direct the traffic to make sure that the drivers can use the roads easily and without having accidents. The word accidents actually it's a plural. The singular is an accident. An accident is an incident that happened in unintentionally way or in unexpectedly way. Okay, but resulting in damage or injury. So we're going to complete. They also use radar speed guns. You know, radar speed gun is a machine which can be used to identify the speeders. I mean, the people who are driving too fast. I mean, the people who exceed, we can say, the speed limit. So to identify people who are driving too fast. This is very important. Drivers mustn't speed because speeding is one of the leading causes of deaths on the road. Police officers also check that drivers and passengers are wearing their seat belts. Some people get angry because they don't like to wear them, but seat belts can prevent serious injuries if you have an accident. So remember, when you get into a car, you must wear your seatbelt. Okay, so this is the first passage. We're going to read all the questions and answer all the questions, okay, related to this passage. So number one, why do people have to follow the law? Why do people have to follow the law? Okay, so that we can live together. We can say safely, peacefully, whatever you say, both of them are correct. So that we can all live together safely, or so that people can live together peacefully. Okay? So number two, why do police officers have a lot of duties? Okay? Again, why do police officers have a lot of duties? Because there are lots of different laws. Okay? Because there are different laws. As long as there are different laws, of course, police officers will have a lot of duties. Okay? So, number three, drivers mustn't speed because we know that speeding is one of the main causes, one of the main causes of death on the road or on the roads. Okay, so that's why people mustn't speed. Okay. Another question: what can seat belts prevent? Or in another way, why must the drivers and passengers wear their seatbelt? Why must drivers and passengers wear their seatbelt? Okay, I'm going to answer. By the way, the two questions have the same meaning. Okay, because We know that because seat belts can prevent. Prevent means to not allow for thing to be completed or to be committed. Okay, so because seatbelt can prevent serious injuries. Okay, serious injuries in case if you have an accident or if you have an accident. Okay, if you have an accident. In case if you have an accident, so remember, seatbelt can prevent serious injuries. Okay, you see. So this is, I think everything about the first passage. We have just 4 questions. So let's, keep on. Let's complete. The second passage, of course, police officers also investigate crimes like robbers. The word investigates mean to get information about the crime. Okay, that's mean investigate. When there has been a crime, police officers are sent. This is passive. Passive are sent to the place where it happened. They need to look for evidence like fingerprints and footprints, which can be used to identify and arrest the criminal. The criminal is a person or someone who does or who commits a crime, or the person who does any illegal action. Okay, this person we call it actually a criminal. Okay, of course, fingerprints which can be used to identify and arrest the criminal. Of course, they don't have to recognize to set apart or to distinguish. Okay, the fingerprints themselves. There are fingerprints experts. Okay, so who do that? Police officers also have to ask a lot of questions. They interview witnesses who they think might have information about the crime. Now we're going to have the defined witness or witnesses can help the police. Or another question, how can the witness help the police? Witnesses can help the police by telling them what the criminal looks like and what time crime was committed. Okay, so we're going to write the question about this passage. The first thing, we have very important question. What are police duties? Police officers' duties. Okay, what are police officers' duties? Okay, you see that we're going to answer this question. Number one, they have to they have to direct traffic. They have to direct the traffic. This point is actually very, very important. Why do the police have to direct the traffic? This question, okay? The police have to direct traffic to make sure, again, it's very important, to make sure that drivers can use the road easily and without having an accident. Okay, without having an accident. So again, what are police officers' duties? They have to direct the traffic. Another question we can say, why do police have to direct the traffic? Okay, to make sure that the drivers can use the roads easily and without having an accident. Another important thing is, another one of the police duties, they have to use radar speed guns. They have to use radar speed guns. So why do police use radar speed gun? To catch speeders, or to identify speeders. Okay, so what does speeders mean? Speeders, people who are driving too fast. Okay, people who are driving too fast. Another important point, okay, they check drivers and passengers. Drivers and passengers, if they are wearing, if passengers, if they are wearing, okay, they are wearing their seatbelts, or we can say that they are wearing their seatbelt. They check if the drivers are obeying the laws or not. Okay. Again, this is the first point about this answer. Okay. Maybe in the final exam, one of the questions was, why do police have to direct the traffic? Okay, to make sure that the drivers can use the road easily and without having an accident. Again, they have to use a regular speed gun. Why? Okay, now we have to mention why. To identify the speeders. Another point, they check drivers and passengers if they are wearing or their seatbelts or not. Okay, and if drivers are not wearing their seatbelts, they are going to have a fine. Okay, fine, I mean they have to pay money for this thing. Okay, so let's now go to the third passage. Okay, but before we go to third passage, I have to mention another point about police officers. They have to investigate. They have to investigate crimes like robberies. Okay, they have to investigate crimes like robbery. Another point, they have to look for evidence. They have to look for evidence. So again, I have a question. What is the evidence that the police have to look for? The answer is, they have to look for evidence. Evidence is evidence, I'm going to say like fingerprints and footprints. Okay, you see, fingerprints and footprints. Okay, which can be used. This thing is extremely important. This point is really very important. Please, this is very important. They have to look for evidence like fingerprints and footprints, which can be used, again, which can be used to identify and arrest the criminal. Identify and arrest the criminal. Arrest meaning to put someone in a prison or in jail. Okay. So they have to look for evidence like fingerprints and footprints, which can be used to identify and arrest the criminal. Another thing I would like to mention: police officers have to recognize, to distinguish, to set apart fingerprints themselves. Of course, the answer is going to be false. Or another way, who must recognize fingerprints? We have fingerprints experts. So this is not work of police officer. This is also a very important point. Okay, to recognize fingerprints, it's not the duty or it's not the work or job of police officers. No, this is the work of fingerprints experts. Fingerprints expert. Okay, experts. It means that the people, they have experience in doing things, so they call them experts. Okay, fingerprints experts. Okay, so let's go now to the third. But before we go, we have another point I would like to mention. Okay, the interview witnesses. Okay, another police duties is they have to witness or interview witnesses and maybe asking a lot of questions. Okay, they have to interview witnesses and ask a lot of questions. Okay, this is one of the police also duties. One of the police duties. But we have another point, that how can witness help the police? How can witness help the police? I'm going to talk about this point. Okay. How can witness help the police? Okay, we have the word witness. It's a singular, but if we add es, it's going to be plural. So, in answer, I'm going to say witnesses can help the police by immediately by telling them, I mean the police, by telling them what a criminal looks like. I mean the appearance. What a criminal looks like. Okay, looks like. And another thing, and what time a crime was committed. Or we can say, by telling them what a criminal looks like and the time of the crime. And the time of the crime. If you don't like to mention what time a crime was committed, you can say, and the time of the crime. Both of them are correct. Time of the crime. Okay? So let's go to the last passage. I'm going to read it. Police officers try to prevent crimes as well as solve it. Prevent crimes meaning not to allow for the crime to be committed. Okay? So one point, I'm going back to the question number 6. This is one of the police also duties. So A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G, they must prevent crimes. Okay, must prevent crimes as well as solve. Okay, as well as solve them. Okay, here we're talking about the crimes. Okay, they must prevent the crimes as well as solve them. Not only prevent the crime. Prevent a crime and solve it. Okay, crimes and solve them. Okay, I'm going to complete reading. So, police officers try to prevent the crimes as well as solve it. I mean, solve the crimes. They often watch places where they think crimes are likely to happen. For example, crowded areas attract pickpockets who try to steal people's wallets. Shops that sell expensive items also attract thieves, but police officers also help people with everyday problems. Okay, this is another point. They help people. Okay, they help people with everyday problems. Okay, with everyday problems. Okay, but let me complete it. Okay, for example, if you are lost, so this is example of one of the problems that police we can say help or solve. For example, if you are lost, okay, you needn't worry. You just ask the police for directions. Okay, so if you are lost, don't worry. You can ask the police for directions. Let's complete. Dash attract pickpockets. Okay, we know that the crowded areas. Crowded areas meaning the places that you can see a lot of or many people gathered. Okay, you see? So attract pickpockets. Dash attract pickpockets. I mean crowded areas attract. Whereas shops that this is very important. This question actually is very important. Okay. Whereas shops that sell an expensive item, or we can say sell expensive items. Both of them are correct. This is singular. Sell an expensive item, or expensive items attract thieves. Okay, this is important. So the crowded area attracts pickpockets. and shops that sell expensive items attract thieves. Now, I'm going to actually to finish my lesson by pickpocket and witness. We have to mention, they have definition actually. Pickpocket is someone who steals something from, okay, from people's okay, pockets. Or we can say is someone who steals people's wallets. Okay, both of them are correct. One last thing, a witness is someone or a person who heard or saw something at the time of the crime. At the time of the crime. Here, dear students, I'm about to finish, but before I'm going to conclude, okay, you see that I would like to tell you how to talk about this passage or how to summarize this passage. You can actually start with some questions actually. So the first question was, why do people have to follow the law? Why do people have to follow the law? So that we can all live together safely. Again, another question, for example, why do police have a lot of duties? Why? Because there are a lot of different laws. Okay, you see, and then we're going to talk about what are the police officers' duties, and this is a very important question. In final exam, maybe it's going to mention this, what are police officers' duties, but mention two, just mention two. They have to direct traffic to make sure that drivers can use the road easily and without having accident. They have to use radar speed gun, they have to check drivers and passengers if they are wearing seat belts or not. Okay, they have to investigate the crimes like robberies. They have to look for evidence. I said that evidence is fingerprints and footprints which can be used to identify and arrest the criminal. Then we have something important we have to mention about witness. How can witnesses help the police? By telling them what a criminal what a criminal looks like, and another thing, the time of the crime. Okay. Here we have two definitions, pickpocket and witness. Okay, before I'm going to finish, I'm going to tell you something. You have to read the passage first, and you have to keep and memorize the difficult words. See you. Bye.